So, ladies and gentlemen, our next match of the evening is a professional contest before over 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division of the FCC. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the cage tonight with a professional mixed martial arts record of 8 victories and 5 defeats, representing MK Legion, Aymard Baracuda. And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He entered tonight with a professional mixed martial arts record of 8 victories and 3 defeats, representing MMA Academy, Liverpool, Mick Bowman. Well, referee in charge of the action, Mr. Dean Weir.
Referee Dean Weir about to get this one underway. 3 5-minute rounds of professional mixed martial arts in the welterweight division. Mick Bowman making his long-awaited return to MMA. He's been out of the game since 2012, Josh. Aymard Guih returning to the FCC cage. He was last in action against Matt Inman. Took 2.5 rounds off Inman in that welterweight title contest. Looking to get his first FCC win here.
Yeah, the Frenchman staying on the outside here. They're going to open up with some very strong strikes. Be interesting to see how long it takes Bowman to settle back in, as you mentioned, after such a long time out. A good takedown from the Frenchman, covering a lot of distance and throwing the trip in. Fantastic judo.
We saw that against Matt Inman, and we've indeed seen it in a lot of Aymard Guih's fights. Cage Warriors veteran as well, fought Brad Wheeler in Cage Warriors not too long ago. Picked up a loss there, unfortunately. Actually competed in Grozny earlier this year as well. Place you and I know a little bit about, Josh,
yes,
on our MMA travels. But Aymard Guih firmly in control at this juncture, stepping over into mount.
Yeah, a little too eager to take the mount and gave up the half guard on the way. Bowman looking to get on that hip. Use that underhook that he's got.
I think being a little bit too eager and a bit too aggressive has cost Aymard Guih in the past, Josh. You know, he was, I wouldn't say comfortably in control, but he was certainly racking up the points against Inman and on his way to a decision victory, but jumped right into the guard. And obviously Inman, very active guard game. Recently got his BJJ black belt, threw up that triangle and got a late submission. And we've seen that in Guih's fights before. When he fought in Chechnya, another 3rd round submission loss. Let's see if he can be a bit more patient here against Mick Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman doing a good job of re-establishing the range with that knee. Oh, and taking the opportunity to stand back up when he off-balanced the Frenchman.
Oh, big head kick from Bowman. Taken down again, though. And Josh, you get the feeling this could be the story of this fight. Can Bowman get something off before Guih trips him or throws him back to the mat?
It's going to be interesting because the Frenchman covers so much distance so quickly at the same time as he throws in his takedown trips and leg grabs. I mean, that was really fantastic takedown from him. Let's see what he does this time. He's got side control, but he's, again, just leaving a bit too much space. And Bowman's able to get back to a half guard. Using the lockdown now to try and stretch the Frenchman out a little bit.
The Frenchman really is a wandering warrior. Has competed far and wide. As we said, competed in Grozny, competed in Italy, really all over Europe.
Well, Bowman's trying to climb his way up. He's got the underhook. Keeps trying to get up on that hip. But staying very calm here, considering.
Bowman was on a reasonably impressive run before taking a hiatus from the game. He'd racked up 5 in a row, but that's going back to 2011 was his last win. Had a very good run in 2010, picking up 4 victories, I beg your pardon. Did briefly appear on The Ultimate Fighter as well. Wasn't successful in getting into the house, though, if memory serves. But back in the cage here tonight at FCC 14, and a lot of support for the former Wolf Slayer man as he returns to MMA. Guy has to watch the up kicks here.
Yeah, Bowman being active off his back in so much as he's always threatening the kicks to the knees, the kick to the head, the ankle grabs. But he is really just having to establish defensive frames and try and create space. That's all he's having to do at the moment because the Frenchman is so aggressive in coming forward.
You have to wonder how fitness will come into play as this fight goes deep, Josh. Obviously, we've talked about Bowman's break from the game. Aymard Guih only took this fight, I believe, on just over a week or two's notice. Bowman originally set to face Shah Hussein, who's competed here at FCC before. Hussein unfortunately injured a few weeks ago. Baracuda, though, seems like the kind of guy who's always ready to pick up the gloves and gum shield, jump on a plane and throw down.
Certainly does. He's doing a good job so far in this first round. Bowman's got a good defensive half guard here. Again, he uses it to kick off, create some range.
Aymard Guih beckons his man up. Guy being aggressive on the feet there. And we see some swelling appearing under the eye of Bowman. Bit of a mouse there.
I mean, as you said, he's had some time out of the cage. Really just, if I was Aymard Guih, I absolutely would have come after him with all the aggression I could muster straight off the bat and really try and put him on the defensive early. And I think that's what he's done. So it's going to be interesting to see if the 12-fight experience of Mick Bowman, he can draw on that. And now he's had one round, he can remember what it feels like. He can remember what being under the cosh a little bit feels like. If he can now try and put his own game plan into practice.
A lot of pride on the line as well, of course. Not too far from home here is Mick Bowman. A lot of support in the crowd. A lot of people coming to see him make his return to the cage. Aymard Guih looking to cause something of an upset. But arguably not an upset, Josh, if Guy does take this. He's been the more active fighter in recent years and certainly an incredibly talented competitor.
Bowman wasting no time in coming across the cage here to say, hey, I'm still very much in this one.
And absolutely credit to Mick Bowman. He was going to fight Shah Hussein, who's a tough guy. He's been around the block. He's fighting Aymard Guih now. It's kind of a no-win situation for him.
Oh, what a fantastic trip again. Really, when he gets in on the clinch, the Frenchman's, I was going to say change of direction, but change of pace, particularly in a straight line, it really is phenomenal.
Guy perhaps looking to unleash some heavy leather here from top position. Perhaps doesn't have to worry about the submission threat as much with Bowman as he did with Matt Idman. Does have to watch out for the heavy punches and kicks, though. And we have seen Guy stood up before from top position. He's not always the most active.
No, and he's allowing Bowman a fair amount of space here. And I think at this point the referee should just break them and let Bowman back up.
Nice elbow there from Bowman, but giving up the takedown, unfortunately, and possibly giving up his back here if Aymard Guih can sneak the head underneath the armpit.
Yeah, let's see if he shucks and tries to move to the back. At the moment, just a good, strong body lock. Again, you get in those upper body clinch positions. That's where the judo of Aymard Guih is really going to pay dividends for him.
Looking strong on top here is Aymard Guih. Vincent Delguera barking instructions from the corner. Oh, nice up kick there. That was just a couple of inches below the jawline. That could have caused some problems had it been a little higher.
Yeah, Bowman trying to shoot from his knees there, but Guih again just too fast for him. And at the moment, his kind of explosiveness and work rate in those transitions is just so much for Bowman to deal with.
And the Frenchman just seems content to go in, apply a little bit of pressure, do a little bit of damage and step off. And referee Dean Weir stepping in. Bowman looking to turn out the lights there, but just wasn't spry enough with that one.
Yeah, that outside trip again, a fantastic weapon for the Frenchman. Now they're going to move to side control. But single butterfly.
You've got to believe that the Frenchman's going to be happy to rinse and repeat all night with this, certainly working very well for him so far.
Yeah, it's partially because as well he's getting those takedowns on the first entry every time. You know, the timing is such that every time Bowman comes in, he's attacking. And it's not really any effort for him to complete those takedowns. If there was, you know, 30 seconds of really good postural defense that he had to work through and scramble through every time, you'd see him start slowing down. But at this rate, you know, he probably can do this for 3-5s pretty consistently.
And the corner team asking Bowman to take his guard back. Easier said than done, though. Every time he has looked like he'd be able to get a bit of activity going, guys just stood up, stepped off, rinsed and repeated.
Yeah, and that's the confidence that he has that he can earn those takedowns again. You know, if he was worried about scoring the takedowns, he'd be doing everything he could just to pin him.
And the corner team and the crowd willing Bowman up, but Guy takes his back.
Oh, in top position for Bowman for the first time in this match.
He does have a few TKO stoppages on the record. Nice elbow there from Bowman over the top. Let's see what he can do with the time he's got left.
He needs to get this ground and pound going with some urgency now. He's trying to frame on the face and really push the Frenchman away, who is doing everything he can to stay as tight and close as possible.
10 seconds to go. Not going to get a finish. Might behoove Bowman to just conserve some energy here. And a strong finish to that round. So we know, Josh, if Bowman does get top position, he can do some damage here.
Yeah, I mean, look, his intent was entirely damage there. It was, let's be aggressive and let's get some of the strikes in. But, you know, it's taken pretty much 2 rounds for him to earn a top position.
Josh, how many times have we said it so far this evening? If only he'd been able to do it a little bit quicker, this fight could be a very, very different story. Yeah. As it stands, though, Aymard Guih, you've got to believe 2 rounds up on the scorecards, and Mick Bowman with a lot to do here.
Yeah, absolutely. Mick Bowman's going to have to look for a stoppage. I think Aymard Guih's going to come in and just, you know, try and straight line him into an upper body clinch again. Bowman's got to somehow try and maintain the range.
Seconds out, round 3. And Mick Bowman looking like he's raring to get started. Wants to keep that momentum up as we head into the 3rd and final frame.
The issue is, obviously, he's going to come forward and try and commit, and that's when Gui's going to look to counter with the change of pace on the takedowns.
Just needs to be a little bit calm, a little bit patient. We saw him wing a big hook in that 2nd round out of frustration and get taken down straight away. Just needs to pick them a little bit more wisely. But
yeah, and I just don't think throwing a kick is the right thing to do against the guy who's shown he's going to catch and trip, or you know, trip and go. But at this point, he has to frame, he has to make space, and he has to get up. That's exactly what Jason Tan is now shouting at him from the corner. Because otherwise, this is going to be a long, grueling 5 minutes for him again.
Guy will be content to ride this out from top position, do a little bit of damage where he can. Just run the clock down on Bowman. He knows he's ahead on points, but he lets Bowman back to his feet. Bowman looking for that one big right. Guy, though, throwing some heavy leather of his own.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about Gui's work here, is he's throwing enough hands with enough intention to get Bowman to have to defend, to have to parry, and then that's when he's closing the distance. It's just textbook stuff from the Frenchman, and it's earning him a really good decision win so far here.
I've got to wonder what the plan is now for Mick Bowman. Is he just going to try and hold on? But no, gets back to his feet, or gets halfway there at least. He does have the Baracuda stuck to him. Frenchman attacking Bowman's legs here.
Good
Switch from Bowman.
Yeah, you saw him set it up from right on the outside, not quite able to make it pay, and again, just in on the trips quickly.
Nice elbows from Bowman, but they're not fight-winning blows. And that's exactly what the Englishman needs in this contest, Josh.
I mean, it's the Kosoto that the Frenchman is using repeatedly is such a good trip. I mean, that time really dragging his entire body down on the legs, but he just penetrates with it so well.
It's one thing having a high grade in judo or BJJ or high-level wrestling credentials, but the ability to apply those techniques to MMA is what counts. And what we're seeing here is Aymard Guih being very, very successful with his application of judo techniques here. Bowman, though, with the reversal, and again taking top position. Let's see what he can do here, Josh.
Yeah, expect him to try and land some shots very quickly. He's got the whizzer to stop the Frenchman coming up on that single leg. He's going to pry that elbow inside, and short shots with that elbow, I imagine, will be forthcoming here.
Just needs to create a little bit of space. Got to be wary of the sweep, though. He does not want to end up back underneath Aymard Guih.
Well, the Frenchman's going to try and bury his head as deep as possible here. It's unlikely he's going to get swept over because the cage is keeping him, so the Frenchman's only option is to try and sit up into this single. It's exactly what he's doing.
Vintage referee Dean Weir taking a good look at this one. He's going to ask for action if needs be.
Good frames from Mick Bowman, but he's got to start getting some strikes in. He's got to pin that head and get some punches going.
Short elbow there, but we're going to need to see some power shots.
Yeah, it's the thing, those short elbows, unless they come in really rapid succession, very rarely do enough to stop an opponent. The Frenchman really does climb on and cling on to his opponent to try and nullify the space that Bowman needs to throw any really decisive shots.
Bowman doing everything he can here to find some room.
It can be so hard to really frame on someone's face from that close. You're at such a lacking, I'm trying to think, what do I say, a powerless angle with your arms at that position.
The guy's certainly able to frustrate Bowman here. Judo players obviously noted for their strong grip, and he used that grip strength well to keep his own hands clasped.
Yeah, I mean, his defensive work here is just to nullify and to stall and to hold, and it's not fantastic, but it's doing exactly what it needs him to do here, making it very awkward for Bowman to really posture and get any shots off.
3 rounds in the books, and we've got a very happy corner team from the Frenchman. Aymard Guih doing the victory dance with Vincent Delguera over there. A slightly more forlorn figure cut by Mick Bowman in his corner. But Josh, it has to be said, Mick's had a number of years out of the game. He's come back. He asked for a tough fight. He got one in Shah Hussein. Got arguably an even tougher fight here. At short notice against a completely different kind of fighter. Was happy to take it. Wanted to fight a tough guy. Didn't want to fight a Khan or a Burman, pick up an easy win, which many, many fighters may have done in that same situation, but it wasn't to be. It was Aymard Guih's night. Great application of judo. And you would think a unanimous victory on its way for Aymard Guih.
And so, ladies Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hardcore rounds, we go to our judges this evening. With a unanimous decision, your winner in the blue corner, Aymard Baracuda. And as your